12:31, the man sentenced to life in prison for the deadly Howland shooting that killed 2 people talked with our 21 News anchor Lindsay McCoy earlier today. She joins us now live with more. Lindsay?
Well, good afternoon to you, Jennifer. Yes, I sat down with Nasser Hamad for a lengthy one-on-one camera interview here at Pickaway Correctional Institution, which is in Orient, Ohio. We're about 20 minutes south of Columbus. It's situated behind me. It takes up a lot of property, very wide in scope. And we sat down for, again, a really long interview so that we could go over the case and talk about why he wants to get his voice out now and talk to the media. This is his first on-camera interview with us since his sentencing, and he's had about 7 months to think about this case. So I had a lot of questions that I wanted to bring here after I was told that we were assigned to come here to do this interview. He stands by his claim that he made in court that he acted in self-defense that day on his property. He does not budge from that. The same argument that he made in court. Now, I also asked him, does he regret pulling the trigger that day? Or does he even regret taking part in the conversations that brewed into a feud that led up to those individuals coming to his property off of busy Route 46 the day that gunfire broke out? You will hear his response tonight on 21 News at 6. We have that for you, and we're going to bring it back from Orient, Ohio to the Valley this evening for our newscast. But first, I want you to hear just some of what he had to say on the midday.
Well, I just wanted to tell my part of the story that was never said. My lawyers was clearly working with the prosecutors. I have overwhelming evidence, black and white, even audio, that supports what I had to do. And I did call 911. They kept saying I did not call 911. Call 911, there's tapes, and basically, you know, what's going on really has to do with Paul Monroe.
All right, so it is clear when I talked to him for about 30 to 45 minutes that this consumes his mind all the time, almost every day that he is behind these prison walls. He thinks about this case. He says he's trying to hire another attorney, as you heard there. He believes that his 3 attorneys that he had in the courtroom during the trial were conspiring against him and working with the prosecution. Now, I have spoken with the assistant prosecutor, Chris Becker, and he does want to respond, but I did want to mention to you, Jennifer, that throughout my interview, he mentioned Trumbull County Sheriff Paul Monroe and Trumbull County Assistant Prosecutor Chris Becker multiple times, more than a dozen times. He appears to have a lot of anger against those 2 individuals, so I wanted to mention that to you. Also, it appears that he believes that a lot of the evidence that was used on Facebook may have not been used in court. He believes some of the evidence that could have come to his defense wasn't presented correctly or at all, and he also stands by the fact that he believes that there were weapons in that van the day those individuals came to his property. That's why he says he opened fire. Again, much more to get to in this interview. This is just a tip of the iceberg, Jennifer. I'll have more for you tonight on 21 News at 6. Reporting live in Orient, Ohio with more local news, I'm Lindsay McCoy.